Hello and welcome to Pokemon Part 60, and oh boy, that is a milestone, is it? And yay, Vulpix! You got a really cool design. A Gen 1 fire type, and Gen 1 seemed to have a thing with fire dogs. And a bit of Gen 2 too. Let me see, Growlithe, Arcanine, Vulpix, Ninetales, Houndour, Houndoom, Flareon. Yep, we don't need that many fire dogs. I like them all, but there is quite a few of them. Only Horse C, which is kind of like the words sea and horse put together. Who, funny enough, evolves into a dragon type, which is a really cool feature. And actually, now I think about it, Gen 2 didn't really add that many dragons. In fact, I'm probably forgetting one, but I want to say is it called Cedra or Kingdra? Whatever. I think it's called Kingdra. The water dragon type. I think that's one of the few ones that weren't introduced. In fact, I think it could be the only one. But again, I can't remember off the top of my head. Not no others come to mind. And there we go for Ponyta, the wonderful fire horse. Sunkern, the sort of a sunflower seed Pokemon. And I'm still not sure if this is true, but I think Sunkern's evolution, Sunflora, was the final evolved Pokemon that had the lowest stats. So this is fairly weak, needless to say. In fact, just use if you want a challenge. Now, as for the Bug Buzz, I'm not sure about this. It does 10 more power, but I think Web has higher physical attack, so I'll teach you Bug Buzz. But you know what? Because TMs are infinitely reusable in this generation, I could always change my mind at a later date. Now, speaking of Landorus, to capture this Pokemon, you go up to the shrine with Fundorus and Tornadus in your party, and then he should appear. Now, in this game, we can only catch Fundorus in Pokemon White, but I will be sort of addressing that, and I'll be showing off a feature about the emulator, because I will be catching Landorus, and I will be catching Tornadus and Fundorus, but I sort of have to cheat the emulator to do so, but you'll see what I'm talking about when I eventually do it. And it is Burmy. It evolves into Wormadam. Although you can get different Wormadams depending on what environment it evolves into. Like, you get a Steel Wormadam, a Trash... Let me see. Like a Bug Steel type Wormadam, a Grass Bug type Wormadam, and a Ground Bug type Wormadam. But anyway, let's talk to this guy here, Tangela. The only pure Grass type of Generation 1. And I don't think I barely used him, probably because he's a Safari Zone Pokemon. But by the time you get to the Safari Zone in Gen 1, you've probably got your final team nearly fully formed. But I finally get some use out of a Dragon Tail there. And now we see the winter form of Sawbuck. It looks pretty cool actually. And just a reminder, he's still a Grass normal type. I thought he might be an ice type in the winter, but I guess not. And down he goes. Oh, hello, Tangela. Yeah, Jack Black is definitely becoming a beast. I mean, he already was to a certain extent. Rakanda, I just realised I don't really use these a lot. Probably because it would upset my delicate balance or something. Hey, it's Yamna. a Dragonfly Pokemon. And that's pretty much all I have to say about him. He's sort of a cute guy, he's got an interesting design. And he has a Gen 4 extra evolution. Which, yeah, I'm indifferent to. In fact, now that I think of it, Yanmega just looks like Yanma's Mega Evolution. Because obviously Mega Evolutions, they're essentially the same Pokemon that has a slightly different design. Rather than evolving, where he looks, where presumably when Pokemon evolve, they turn into very different Pokemon. But Mega Evolutions are just like a slightly upgraded version of the way they are now. And I was thinking, yeah, but I was just thinking that Yanmega looks essentially like Yanma's Mega Evolution. In fact, it's even got Mega in the name. But enough about all this Mega nonsense. Again, like it reminds me of Cerebi from Generation 2, where you would sort of meet that little fairy in its natural habitat, its little shrine. But like I said, at some point at a later date, I'll be returning here with Landorus and Thundurus, and we will be capturing Tornadus. TM92 Trick Room. Now, I've been playing a bit of Pokemon Online, Pokemon Showdown, and I do get some use out of that move. I teach it to Bronzong, and essentially if you use that move, it reverses speed. So essentially slow Pokemon go first. And if you know how to use it, it's actually really good. Like Pokemon like Rampardos, it's really powerful, but it tends to go last because it's a bit slow. Honestly, if you can use Trick Room and then like reverse him, you'll end up with this powerful Pokemon that always goes first. Yeah, so Trick Room, it's a really cool move. But we're out at the Shrine for the moment and back on Route 14. And as you can see, there are just loads more Pokemon you can catch now on these routes. You can sort of see the tables on the graphics on my screen. Some of these tables have like 10 slots, because that's how many Pokemon you will see now. You know, we have Barboach. That is all. He evolves into some sort of catfish, but there you go. And actually, it's evolved from Wishcash is a decent Pokemon, which we're about to see now. Again, like Brooker, it's a water ground type, so it only has one major weakness. And unfortunately for him, I have access to that major weakness. Obviously, it has a W on its head for Wishcash, but it looks a bit odd to me. Oh, Carvana. These sorts of piranha Pokemon that evolves into a shark. Okay, fair enough. And it's also a water dark type, which I would say is a decent combination to have. Goldfish, a lobster type Pokemon. And speaking of which, you know, these lobster type Pokemon and sort of crabby type Pokemon as well. I was thinking, shouldn't they be really water bug type? Now that I think about it, that would make slightly more sense. Oh yes, Simipour again, who's a good water servant. I don't want to use the term HM slave, because that's a bit negative. But yeah, essentially I do use them mainly for just HMs, but it's more like they're my handyman odd job people, rather than HM slave. Because you know Simipour, I do value you just mainly as a. Anyway, what I'm saying is there is value in Pokemon that only exist for HMs. You know, they don't all have to be used for battling Pokemon, you know. Like Parasect is good for capturing Pokemon. They all have their talents, you know. Why demean a Pokemon just because it's good at HMs? And right now we're in this little seaside town called Undella Town. There you go. There's a few things here of value. Particularly the bay, which is to the right, and we'll be going there in the next part, because we can find some very useful things there. Alright, this is HM Dive, which you get just by talking to this random person here, which, by the way, it's a team you could so easily miss. Now, in one of these houses is the champion Cynthia from Generation 4. Now, I will be facing her, because I can't wait to battle her again. But, yeah, I'll be doing it a little later on, when I have my Pokemon leveled up slightly a bit more. That and there's also an issue with timing. Like, the first time you enter that house, you can battle Cynthia, but after that, she only appears on certain days of the week. So just to make it easy on myself, I thought I'll just take her on the very first time I meet her. Now, this Spoiled Brat here will battle you, and if you come back another time, you'll battle him again and another member of his family. And if you come back another time after that, you would battle him, that same member of his family, and another member of his family. And this will go on and on until you battle like 6 members of his family in a row, each time getting more and more money. So I guess this is a good way to grind, battling this little family here. Now this guy here is important, sort of, because here you can sell him rare items to make yourself quite a bit of money, but only a certain type of item from a very certain place. Well, you know, I must say that is a very fancy house, big villa there. But anyway, like I said, we've had that done. We're done with this town for the moment. But yeah, we're onwards to explore this new secret area to the right here, Undella Bay. Now, looking at the Pokemon you can catch here, of course, in winter you can catch some of the Wailord Pokemon, and also a bit of just general Ice-type Pokemon, I guess. Speaking of which, these swimmers must be really cold. You know, you can catch Arctic Pokemon here during the winter, so yeah, it's kind of like the Polar Bear Club, or I guess you would call it in this universe the Beartic Club. Oh, there we go, Seal. Too bad you look kind of goofy. Almalola, or whatever, this fish thing, which is kind of infuriating because at this point it just stalls with its high defences. And it actually knows Hydro Pump. You need to watch out for that one. But you see, that's the reason why I don't use Hydro Pump. Just the low accuracy. I find I'm just better off using Surf. Surf and Turf, baby. Surf and Turf. Oh, there you go, you rubber glove piece of anyway. Screwing Pokemon. I'm just thinking that in Pokemon Generation 6 there will be aerial type Pokemon battles. And I guess presumably their battles only flying type Pokemon can take part in. So it does make me wonder, with these aquatic battles, shouldn't only water type Pokemon be able to take part? But then again, that would make the gameplay convoluted. Welmer here. I kind of like this guy. He looks like a beach ball. Well, that doesn't sound like a very good existence for a Pokemon to be, to be the participant in a volleyball game for all of eternity. Well, not eternity, just whatever. Hey, at least you're not I'm trying to think of a Pokemon that has a miserable life. And I'm thinking maybe Parasect, you know, at least you're not inhabited by a parasite on your back for the rest of your life. Hey, Corsola, a coral type Pokemon. And it's a rock water type, so goodbye. Oh, he looks kind of cute as well.